Hi there, today we're going to be talking about dressing. This is a really big topic, so I might do a few more videos just to break it up a bit, but I just wanted to give you a few top tips of how to get started with a child that's really struggling with dressing. The first thing I'd say is that a lot of the evidence around dressing in particular is best practice within a coaching technique. So that's where it's called a co-op approach, and it's basically where you allow a child to make mistakes, and then you help the child to understand what mistake has been made and how they can next time learn from it. And that's been a really effective way of teaching kids a lot of occupations, but specifically dressing. I would say that only works with children that have the cognitive ability to reason and problem solve. So that wouldn't work, for instance, with a really little child, but maybe a child that's a bit older and is able to kind of problem solve. Then definitely try that and give it a go. The other most evidence way is a way called backward chaining. I'm going to do a whole video to explain that because it's a really big part of OT, and I will do a whole video to cover it. But it's based in its very simple form. It's basically breaking the task into tiny little pieces and working backwards through the task to enable the person to achieve independence for it. But go and try and see if you can find that video and give it a watch. The first top tip that I'd give is actually visual sequencing for dressing are really effective. So find some visual cards, you can find them online, print them out, laminate them to show the different steps necessary for dressing. So for instance, it might be putting on your t-shirt, then you're going to put on your trousers, then you're going to put on your socks, then you're going to put on your shoes, and we missed underwear. Somewhere we'll put some underwear on. And I have found it's incredibly effective if it is interactive. So whether that is they're on a bit of Velcro and the child has to put them on when they've achieved it, or it's laminated and the child has to tick it off with a whiteboard pen or a sticker, and even having that in their PE kit or on their bedroom wall can be really helpful in just promoting that child to be independent and knowing what sequence of dressing they need to follow in order to get dressed in the morning. The next thing I'd say is we love adaptive clothing. If a child is struggling with something, I'm not saying do not have a try of having a go. Definitely have a try of having a go at buttons if they're struggling with buttons. But for everyday life, try something that's going to make life easier. So that might be, for instance, a Velcro shirt, or even just larger clothing. You know, go up a size, so they've got a larger head hold, larger arm holes, to practice putting on a t-shirt. Joggers, for instance, if you're going to practice getting dressed and putting on trousers, joggers are really easy because they're flexible, they're comfortable, they've got flex in them. Instead of trying to put on skinny jeans, choose something that's gonna win those battles and make life easier for yourself. There's also a vast array of sensory needs for children. Some children are really hypersensitive to texture of clothing, and there's a whole load of clothing specially made for different children's needs that can help. I will go into more detail on that later on, but pick your battles. Like, if you can make your life easier, do. If there's a certain type of fabric they don't like, if they don't like wearing woolly jumpers, you know what, don't put them in woolly jumpers. If they don't like having stuff collect on the back, then put them in elasticated neck collars. Win your battles in that sense. The next thing I wanted to talk about is hand over hand. So demonstrating how to do something can be really effective. So firstly, you might want to mirror it for them. So you show them how to put on your jumper. And then you might want to help them. So you take their hands and show them physically what they need to do. So you're going to put your hands on the hole and pull your head through. And that hand over hand can just show them what body movements they need to facilitate that. looking at the environment. What's happening when you're trying to get dressed? Are you trying to get dressed in their room? Are there lots of toys? Are there lots of distractions? Maybe it might be better to take them out of the place where there's distractions, such as the hallway, and get dressed in the hallway and just eliminate those distractions. Sometimes children really enjoy getting dressed in front of a mirror. I mean, I do, so that I know, how I'm looking, kind of can see that positive reinforcement of what's going on as I'm getting dressed. Allowing choice within dressing is a fabulous thing. So do you want to wear the red top or the blue top? And that gives a sense of an autonomy to the child as they're choosing what thing they're going to try and put on. I'd say pick an appropriate time to practice. When you're late for school and you've got to rush them out the house, now's not the time to practice shoelaces. But the holidays, for instance, when things are a bit more chilled, you've got half term, that's a great time to every day practice putting on your shoes and doing your shoelaces. Pick times that are going to win for you and your family to practice. And similar to that, consistent practice is so important. There's no point if you're really pushing for a goal for that child to learn to tie their shoelaces, and you're only practicing a little bit at home, but they're not practicing at school, and actually at school they've got normal Velcro trainers, then they're not getting that consistency. If you're gonna try and push ahead to facilitate that goal, then really try and make sure they've got really regular opportunities to practice every day if possible. A reward or kind of praise chart is really effective to kind of help promote independence. So a sticker chart where they can tick off that they've got dressed that morning or gone to the toilet or brushed their teeth, whatever it is in the dressing process that you're interested in. Reward charts work really, really well. Adaptive aids. If your child struggles with something, then try adaptive aids. Try shoe horns, kind of button fasteners, those kind of things. They're really good for just helping promote independence. Motivation. So if a child is really into something, I know my son, he's really into fire engines. If you can find something that your child is really into, try and promote it into dressing. Find a top that's got a minion on that they're obsessed with, and that can be your practice top. Just think outside the box. What are they interested in? And use that to help promote their occupation that you want them to do. It might be helpful to have a visual timer if the speed of dressing is something that they're struggling with. Having a visual timer such as a sander or kind of on the iPad, something clicking down, so they know what they're working towards, how quickly they need to be getting dressed, basically. Although we don't want to create anxiety, so if that's something that's causing anxiety to them, maybe stop that. If a child is really struggling with core strength, then sitting against a wall or sitting on a really good supportive chair where they've got a high back and their feet are on the floor when they're dressing is really important. It's incredibly hard balancing, trying to get dressed. I know that for myself. So if they're sitting, they're well supported against the wall, got a solid base on the floor, solid base on their feet, then dressing is gonna be so much easier. As I said, this is a huge area. There's loads to cover. I'm probably going to do some videos on specific things like shoelaces, buttons, those tricky bits that parents often struggle with. But just as a general overview, so there's some top tips for you to have a try. And I hope you have a good day. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.